Ashutosh. Tell us more on how has the rescue teams ensured that they're not going to panic when they're being brought out. Of course, the first few days must have been difficult. After that, they got along when they established communication with the teams.
Absolutely, and the experts were called to assess their psychological condition. In fact, there was one drone and mechanism from Lucknow was also called yesterday to assess their psychological mental condition. And immediately when they were trapped, there was panic. But remember, they are the workers. They know what a tunnel is. They know the consequences of constructing a tunnel is, and they are very much aware about the possible threat. So they are very strong. Of course, they have been waiting to be evacuated, rescued, and every time they used to speak to their family. And when we used to speak to their family, they say, we have been asked that when this evacuation will take place, when they will be rescued. One and only question they have been asking, that when will we be rescued. They were getting food. That wasn't the issue. The issue was a matter of concern that how long this operation may take. And particularly when you hear that today by evening you'll be out, and then you hear some obstacle has literally halted the operation. But what is happening here, Nabila, I'll show you a glimpse of exactly how curious people are. They all have been waiting. This looks like entire city of Uttarkashi, Brahmakhal and the nearby areas. They all are here. From this rooftop to the national media, international media, people in a huge number have come here to see this final leg of this operation. Every place you see, the number of workforce, the laborers who are involved with the BRO to even cut down the mountains to make a passage for heavy machinery lifting to top of the mountain, to top of the hills for the vertical drilling. Even those laborers along with the other workforce all sitting right out there watching this last leg of operation. It's the day where they believe Mangal, as we say, Mangalwar ko Mangal hoga. This is the day finally it's going to happen. After achieving a breakthrough, a safe passage, a safety protocol is being followed. Remember on 17th, where debris literally fall towards the rescuers, there was another challenge to ensure safety of the rescuers first, because compromising their security, you cannot carry out a rescue operation. It literally took them from 17th to 21st of November to make a structure, a safe structure. Then solidification of the the suspended materials over the tunnel where the cavity was being formed. So after ensuring the safety protocol for the rescuers, only they started operation. If you see those images of CM Dhami, VK Singh, everyone speaking to the trap workers, you see a concrete structure on top of them. That kind of safety protocol, or you called a micro tunnel, was made inside, literally 200 meter inside, wherever there was a threat of suspended material falling and the debris falling in. So once they ensured and secured the rescuers, only then they started or they resumed this operation yet again. And of course, there have been hurdles, obstructions. The mega machine, if I could say you just one image of that auger machine, so-called American, literally a giant machine. There was standby machine also airlifted from Indore. And you see these blades, the rotated blades, these are called hero blades. And this is what installed at nearly 45 meters from the auger machine. And right after drilling, the moment it reached to the heavy size metals, it literally broke down. And that led to the massive disappointment for all the rescuers. And it looked like that all their, the success and the expectation at the last leg failed. And right after disappointment, immediately this team made out a plan B. A plan B was vertical drilling. And in fact, in 48 hours, they made really halfway mark through. The plan was to dig 86 meters and they made 44. More than halfway through. But now, since we are expecting a final breakthrough, in fact, the breakthrough has been achieved, but the idea is to send an evacuation pipe or the safety tube across the debris at certain safe distance inside the tunnel. A lot of things moving right outside. Everyone is on standby, and the moment they hear that pipe has reached, we will hear the personals entering the tube, reaching other side, crawling inside a 800 dia pipe, and to reach, to make it 60 meters for NDRF personnel. They are physically absolutely fit. They are trained to walk in those terrain. It may take barely few minutes for them to cross other side. And once they do, after examining the condition of the suspended material, after examining the situation of those workers, examining the physical condition, they will immediately communicate with the team other side, and then one after one using the wheeled, the wheel, a specialized wheel they made. In fact, these people, these NDRF personnel designed literally a stretcher with wheels to ensure smooth go through of these stretchers, because dragging inside a pipe will be extremely difficult, and when it comes to 60 meter of such drag. So they have to avoid friction, they have to make it smooth, and they exactly keeping the situation and the terrain in mind, they designed a stretcher equipped with wheels. So if they have taken nearly 7 to 8 such wheels inside, and all these personnel will be sending, and there will be a rope by two-way. One side they'll be pulling in, another side they'll be pulling out, and this is how the operation will take place. Now I see another ambulance is going inside. So the idea is that immediately, like in few seconds, few minutes of the consultation, they are out, they'll be sent in ambulances. Because they don't want them to be exposed with the temperature outside the tunnel, out of the front portal of this tunnel. It's extremely cold here. The weather is changing. There was rainfall this morning, and also expected on the higher altitudes. It could be even snowfall. And in that case, this will make extremely difficult, not for the rescuers, but of course for the workers. So everything is being considered. All machineries are here, everything is just on standby. We are just waiting for the day and for the moment and for the news break that we have been waiting for last 17 days.
17 days and hopefully it's the end. It's been 2 good weeks for the rescue teams. They're trying to progress, but many challenges in that hilly terrain has acted as a real hurdle for them to reach those trapped workers much earlier. In fact, the last 24 hours has been raining, Ashutosh. We believe that the situation there in terms of weather conditions has been quite intense due to rains, and that hilly area there, it's cold and it's dangerous. And that's what Arnold Dix, one of those international experts, says, that one thing that this hilly terrain has taught me and us is to be humble. So that really shows that even the finest of expertise there found it very challenging to actually move forward with this evacuation process in a speedy manner.
You know, the experience comes with the over of years working, and not one. Globally, there have been several challenges where they had to take horizontal drilling or the vertical evacuation, and these people are expert. And the international agencies who are working in different nations and different situations, from Mexico to Chile to Thailand, there have been such massive and very challenging, extremely difficult evacuation in extremely difficult physical conditions. There have been extremely rainfall or flood or the waterlogging. But despite all these expertise, every time in every operation, you see a different magnitude of challenges. And as far as Silkyara tunnel is concerned, here the challenge was that there was no communication except one 4 inches dia pipe, and you barely could speak 3 to 4 words, and 60 meter that voice could be heard to the other side, and this was exactly doing by the same for the workers. So the communication was difficult. Then was challenged to ensure a communication line with these workers. That was done, and that took literally more than a week, or nearly 10 days. After ensuring that, they started drilling. The plan for drilling was literally flailing on 17th November, and earlier there was a mild tremor on 17th, literally debris fall inside. Then there was another task to ensure a safety of the rescuers. And also imagine, do you see this structure, the terrain on the mountain? This is exactly how you have the passage and the roads. There have been all-weather road project. Because of this, you have a wider roads. But on the narrow lane, working in this extremely condition makes this operation extremely difficult, particularly for carrying out logistics support on this part of the tunnel site. So you have the narrow road, somewhere you have the landslide zone area, heavy machinery like literally bringing a drill, machines. So that was an uphill task for everyone. Air Force was roped in to prevent waste of time. So every logistics was being made available. So this is indeed what I see from start to end have been extremely challenging for all the agencies, be it the logistics, be it the operation, be it the dealing with the conditions and the threat that was inside the tunnel. But after all, the 17 days of the effort has gone well. Finally, we are close to the breakthrough. Once the safety pipe at certain distance reaches, we will have these workers coming out one after one. We will have these images.
The images, Ashutosh, we're receiving images of cheer as many bystanders there, and it could likely be family members of those trapped tunnel workers who have arrived at the spot, and they're cheering as this operation comes to a near close. We're still looking at a few meters away from the trapped workers. Rescuers have already begun venturing into those pipes so that they can first meet with those workers, check their vitalities, and then help them be rescued or evacuate them through stretchers as and when. And basically, it's going to be a systematic process, Ashutosh. Do we know of how many members are going to be entering that pipe, meeting with those rescue workers, and then bringing them out? Who are those people who are going in?
Those who will be crossing the narrow tube will be the NDRF and SDRF personals, and essentially as per the plan that I heard from my sources was to send 6 people.